All right, I started the broadcast. It says I am live. So let's see, I am live right now. So what's going on, guys? So this is, I usually, I guess, give you guys a message. Let me mute my thing. Usually give you guys a message for those of you who are watching this back on like replay or whatever. Yeah, title of the video, leave your comment down below what I should do for 10,000 subscribers. Ellen, Gaming Blonde, y'all are all back. What's going on, everybody? What's up, Esteban, Yizzle, Jared, Easton? Hey, Cynthia. Yeah, you made it. Haley, Notification Squad. Yeah, you guys are awesome, all you notification people. 10,000 push-ups in 24 hours. Oh my gosh, that is that would be crazy. That's an idea though. That is definitely an idea. 10,000 push-ups in 24 hours. Like, could I even do that? I could do a couple thousand for sure, but 10,000, that'd be crazy. Justin listed 2 weeks ago. Nice, Ben. 88 Mike. Say hi, Cindy Lopez. Hey, Cindy Lopez. 10,000 push-ups in 24 hours. So that's the most common thing that you guys are asking. First of all, I have a question. Do you guys like this right here? I added this little screen capture, you know, just so you can see what I'm looking at as you guys are going or whatever. So anyways, yeah, that's a bit excessive. Yeah, 10,000 push-ups in 24 hours is pretty crazy. Like, that's a lot. It was honestly, it was a thought that ran through my head. But I feel like I would probably break apart if I did 10,000 in 24 hours. I would have to build up to it to like where I could do, you know, 10,000 push-ups in a week. Like, that could be a thing. And then I kind of document my process of doing 10,000 push-ups a week, which would be well over 1,000 push-ups a day. So that's a possibility. So, yes, my arms would die, Yizzle. About 500 every hour, and yeah, I like that. So yeah, what would be the math on that? If I were to do, is it really 500 an hour? So 10,000 divided by 24, yeah, that's 416 an hour for 24 hours though. But I'm only up for, like, you know, let's just say I'm only up for, or available to do 12 hours of push-ups for 12 hours of the day. So that's like well over 800 push-ups for each hour that I do them. So that would be like, that would be impossible. There'd be no way I could do 10,000. 10,000 calorie challenge. That's a possibility, but I don't know if I could eat 10,000 calories right now. 500 for 10 hours. Shave your head. Sarah Robinson, I'm definitely not shaving my head. Heck no. I've been trying to grow my hair out for a while. This is actually like the longest it's ever been. And I'm definitely not gonna shave my head. Like, maybe if somebody donated like $10,000, I'll be like, hey, sure, I'll shave my head for $10,000. Jacob Smith, I have a lot of questions. Well, go ahead and ask away, man. You leave for basic. Let me shift this way. So, what was it? What did he say? I leave for basic, Army basic in January, and I go to MEPS on the 27th. All right, sounds good to me. It's coming up soon. You guys are going to be, all you guys leaving in January, I feel bad for you because it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. 500 for 20 hours? Like, I could easily do 500 push-ups in a day. Like, that would not be an issue at all. All it would do would be like do 5 sets of 100 throughout the day. And I could do that pretty easily. Get a tattoo of your MOS at 10,000. No, I don't have any tattoos right now, and I wouldn't start by doing that. Will you show us your shoes? Not right now, but maybe one day in like a vlog or something crazy like that, I might show you guys all my shoes. But I do have a lot, and Black Friday's coming up, so I'm definitely gonna I'm at least gonna be doing like a buy one get one half off for my shoes this Black Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. I have 7,000 felonies, been in jail for 9 years, no arms and legs, can't poop, and have done meth 700 times. Can I still join the military? Tommy, I know that's not true, but yeah, you definitely wouldn't be able to. Dry ice bucket challenge. What's the dry ice bucket challenge? I want to be 11 Bravo, but this school work I want to be 11 Bravo, but this school work these days is retarded. What should I do? I'm not sure what your question is. Sauceton, whatever the name was. Yeah, if you guys, I just got a message. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram or Snapchat, it is right there. I should probably put an @ because this is on the screen, and then during my live streams, people ask me what my Snapchat and Instagram is. I thought this was pretty self-explanatory, but I guess not. So anyways, 10,000 subscribers, setup videos, shoes, gun, Madamus Gamus. Dude, I've messaged you on Facebook. I don't know. Have you messaged me back? I don't think you have. But yeah, dude, as you can see, I got my webcam. I am ready to go for that collab. Ready to go. Also, you should message me. I actually have a really good idea. I think I have 2 good video ideas that we could do, and then some other stuff. But I don't need to communicate this over a live stream. We should do that over Facebook. But anyways, Olivia Schmidt, what's my MOS? I get this question all the time. I think I'm just gonna put it in the description of my videos because I get it every single day. But my old MOS was 25 Bravo, which is an IT specialist. Currently, I'm a cadet, so I have an 09 uniform or 09U MOS, and that's kind of just a placeholder for a cadet because you don't actually have a specific job in the military because I gave up my enlistment contract, so I'm no longer enlisted. But I am now, as of May 2018, once I commission, I will be a 25 Alpha, which is a signal officer. So that pretty much is what you could consider my MOS as of now, which would be a signal officer. Try one new thing every 1,000 subs. 10. Try one new thing for every 1,000 subs. Yeah, dude, send me a message on Facebook. Anyways, what did y'all say? Gaming Blonde. No, I haven't been deployed yet. I've basically been training for almost the entirety of my 3 years in the Army. So once I finish my officer training, then I will be able to deploy, which will be in another year. So anyways, what does a cadet in the S&P program do at drill? Alec Hope. Basically, a cadet's job at the Reserve or National Guard drill or whatever is to shadow the officers. So your job that you're really supposed to do is basically just follow around the officers, sit in them with meetings, help out with stuff. So the last drill that I went to, I helped with a presentation. So I gave a class. So I helped one of the first lieutenants with that, giving the class, and I did pretty good. I'm just saying. But that's kind of what you do, is you shadow the officers. You kind of get a feel for what they're doing and what you're supposed to do once you become an officer. And then you can also just sit in, be a fly on the wall for the bigger mission. So if there's a colonel coming by, lieutenant colonel, battalion commanders and stuff, you can sit in on those meetings. So you can kind of just see things, right? So anyways, oh, you're in the process of trying to apply for the Canadian Army? I did not realize that. Who will be in charge of... Wait. Who will you be in charge of when you're an officer? I'm not 100% sure. My unit is going to be in Houston, Texas. So whenever I graduate this May, I am going to have to move... I wanted to make a video on this, actually. This is kind of a big thing for me to talk about. But I'm going to have to move to Texas. That's going to be where my new unit is at. And when I go there, I'm going to be the S6 shop officer. Basically, that is an officer who's over kind of all of the techie stuff in a unit. So who I will be in charge of will be whoever is a part of the S6. So anybody who has a techie related job, basically that's really generalizing it. But I will be in charge of them as a second lieutenant. And then there'll probably be some kind of staff sergeant, sergeant first class, or something that I work with. Anyways. So when I scored an 85 on my Asvab, can I really do whatever MOS I want? Yeah, you should be able to with an 85. The thing that qualifies you to do any MOS you want is the GT score. So if you have a GT score that is above 110, then you're going to apply, or you're going to qualify for all of the jobs in the Army. So anyways, is there a big difference between active and reserve paychecks? Yes, there is a humongous difference between active and reserve paychecks, because when you're active duty, you're working in the military every single day. Whenever you're reserves in the National Guard, you are not working in the military every single day. And for the reserve paycheck, it is basically each day that you are in the reserves or you do something, you're going to get 2 active duty days of pay. Which kind of seems like, oh yeah, you get paid a lot, but you're only going to be doing that, you know, once a month, so it's not a whole lot. Can I extend my contract from, what did he say? Skylar Moyer. Can I extend my contract from 3 years to 6 years to get the GI Bill? I was thinking of RTC. If you've already signed a contract for 3 years, I'm not sure how you can switch that out, but yeah, you definitely, like, you know, if you do a 3-year contract, you're not going to be eligible for some of the benefits. So, like, if there's a bonus or something, you're probably not going to get a bonus for, like, a 3-year contract. You might not get, like, a kicker or the GI Bill and certain things for your 3-year contract. So, Storm Run. Hey, you're going to Texas, too. Okay. What is a GT? For the Asvab, favorite NF song? Right now, probably, I'm going to answer these 2 questions. Right now, probably... my favorite NF song is, let's see, which one have I been playing the most? Let's see, let me go to the album. Shoot. Where'd the freak? Oh, well. Crap, what's it called? It's probably the intro 3. I like that one. I like the Outsider one. But anyways, I like a lot of the songs in his new album, actually. I think you should fire 10,000 rounds through your no doubt owned AR-15, or come up here to me and we can shoot together. That would be actually pretty cool to shoot 10,000 rounds, but that would cost a crap ton of money. I've probably got like 150 rounds of 5.56 ammo right up there, but that's not nearly 10,000. Like 10,000 rounds is a lot. Like you'd just be sitting there all day. That would be crazy. But I do want to do a shooting video coming up soon. I just haven't really had a chance to go shoot recently. But the GT score, that was the question I was going to answer. What's a GT score? When you take your ASVAB, you're going to have all these different line scores. So you're going to have your ASVAB, which is going to say, like that previous person, it's going to say you got an 85 on your ASVAB, or on the ASVAB as a total score. And then you're going to have like 9 different categories or something like that. It's going to be like ST, CI, like MI, all these different things. Dang. I'll get to that in just 1 second. Holy crap. So I'll get to, it always distracts me when you guys do a super chat, because it like makes me excited. But you're going to have these different line scores, and one of them is going to be the GT score, which is kind of also like an average of the other scores. And that's all it really is. So it's like I guess it's like an overall average similar to the ASVAB, but I'm not sure how they calculate all those things, because I obviously don't know the formula for it. But Ben Opum, advice for basic training at Fort Benning this summer besides being in shape. I'm a junior in high school and leave for basic training June 11th or June 12th, 88 Mike Reserve. So, advice for Fort Benning over the summer, which is pretty good because I went to Fort Benning over the summer. So, first thing is be prepared for it to be super hot, because it is going to be extremely hot. But the biggest thing I can give you, it's hard to give specific advice. Like if I knew who you were as a person, like if you sent me a message on Instagram or Snapchat and we were communicating through there. But the big thing is just do it, get it over with. A lot of the sucky parts about Fort Benning is the fact that it is super hot. So, I mean, you know, you gotta drink water. You gotta, like, I don't know. Well, I wanna give some like good advice, but dang, what could be something good? Because a big thing that I'm a real big proponent of just being in shape, right? But mentally preparing yourself, that's a big thing. So knowing your stuff. being at Fort Benning is just, it's a little bit different than other basic training areas. But dangerous thoughts. No, I'm not doing nudes. How can I donate? You press the little cash super chat button at the bottom corner or whatever, and then you can like pick a certain amount of money and it'll like give you more characters or something to write. But anyways, yeah, Maximus Gaming, thank you for helping me out, bro. Mark Deems, how many push-ups a day should I do to prepare for basic training? If you can do, you know, easily, you should start by doing like 100 push-ups a day, or at least 100 push-ups every other day. But if you can build yourself up to doing 300 push-ups a day for, you know, 3 or 4 days out of the week, then I think you'll be in pretty good shape. So that should be your goal. If you can do 300 push-ups a day, that will be good. I would suggest donating at least $10,000. That's funny. Can you pick where you go for basic training? I couldn't. I know whenever I was there, or whenever I was picking my basic training times, there was like 3 different times that I could have picked to go to basic training. I'm not sure if I would have picked a different time, if it would have been a different post. Like, I'm not sure if I went to basic training on May 12th, 2015. I'm not sure if I would have picked one that was at the end of May, that if maybe I would have gone to Fort Jackson instead of Fort Benning. I'm not sure, but I do know that I could have picked my different times to ship. Maybe those could have been different posts, but they weren't like, I wasn't sure what they were really. How many miles have I been running a day? So this is what I've been doing. I don't know if you can see it, but I started off, basically my goal is to do 550 miles per week running. I want to do 500 push-ups a day, and also I want to do a single arm pull-up by January 1st. And so the way I've been doing that is, before I was increasing my running too fast, and I remember I did like a 6-mile run one time and I wasn't quite ready for that, and it kind of just like killed my legs. So I've been starting it off pretty slow. So last week I was doing 3 miles a day, 5 days a week. So I'm doing basically, what I've kind of been doing is running 2 days and off 1 day, and then have like a day where I might run 3 days in a row. But I'm basically doing, now I'm doing 4 miles a day. So like yesterday I did 4 miles. Today I did 4 miles, which is right here. And then tomorrow I'm also going to run probably 4 miles, which 4 miles a day, 5 days a week, that's about 20 miles. So that's where I'm at right now. The goal is to do 50 miles a week, and next week I'm going to bump it up to 5 miles a day. But that's the goal. That's not like, if I can get anywhere close to that, then that's going to be awesome. That's going to be, you know, really, that's going to be really good. Like, if I can get 30 miles a week, if I can get 35 miles a week, like that's definitely going to help me progress. Because what I was doing before is I was just trying to hit like 10 miles a week. If I could just do 10 miles a week, then that was good for me. And that was where I was at, kind of somewhere around a 13 flat for my 2-mile run. And I'm currently trying to get my 2-mile run back down below 12 minutes. My current best time for a 2-mile run is 11:43, so 11 minutes and 43 seconds. No. But my current best time for my 2 miles, 11 minutes and 43 seconds. I want to get that down to 11 flat by my spring PT tests, which will be in April. So I'm basically preparing right now for my PT test in April, to do an 11 flat 2-mile run. I want to do, hopefully, as close to 110 push-ups as I can. Like, I'm really going to be trying to do that. And then, but yeah, so that's kind of how much I'm running. I talked about it a lot. You saw that single arm pull-up on my Instagram. Yeah, today, a little while ago when I was at the gym, I actually did another single arm chin-up, and it was even better. So, like, I'm like really, really close to being able to do a couple of pull-ups with one arm, or chin-ups. Pull-ups will be harder. That's going to take me a little while to get to the chin-up to where I can do a couple of those, and then I can switch over and do a one-arm pull-up. But anyways, you should get 10K shaved your eyebrow. Oh, I already read that. What did I miss? What did I miss? Hey, I know you probably already answered this, but I'm taking the Asvab again Wednesday. What can I do to help maximize my score? If you're taking the Asvab again, that's going to help you just in and of itself because you already kind of know what to expect. So that's going to help you. But, you know, the only real way, like, and people will tell you this, the only real way to prepare for the Asvab is kind of like preparing for like the SAT is. You just got to take practice tests and practice tests. So if you have the Asvab on Wednesday, you know, take another practice test online, see how you do. Maybe that'll help you out. You get more used to the questions, and then you should do better no matter what your second time you take the Asvab. When I run, do I take breaks or do it all together? I do all of the running at once. I don't stop. How many pull-ups can I do? Pull-ups, I can do about 30, going all the way down and all the way up. I can do about 30 of them. And I don't do these like half pull-ups. Like you'll see people in the gym or you'll see people on YouTube and they'll do pull-ups and they go down to about right here and they go up and they'll go down right here. I go down all the way and then I go up. And you guys saw that whenever I did the pull-up video last week. But yeah, I can do around about 30 if I'm feeling good. And then as far as chin-ups goes, I should be able to get probably close to 35 chin-ups. All the way down, all the way up. Anyways. A friend of yours at church has a 10:24 2-mile. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy, especially if he's younger. Whenever I was younger, like as in like 18, 19, my running was like really good. And now I got to like work a lot more for it. Like my little brother, he is 17. We did a 3.5 mile run the other day. And, you know, I'm running 3-4 miles basically every day. And he told me he hadn't ran in a couple months. And he just did, you know, the 3.5 mile run with me. And I'm just like, I wish I know I'm not like old, but I remember whenever I was younger, aka 18 years old, and I did like a 5K without training at all, and I did it in 18 minutes. So like, you know, I kind of missed that. Now I gotta work for it a lot more. How many push-ups in a row? The most, well, on the last PT test I think I did 100 in 2 minutes. So yeah, so that's basically how much I can do. Cindy Lopez, I'm sorry. No. I decided I'm not going to the Army. I'm joining the Marines. I really appreciate all the help and advice you've provided. Keep up the good work. Dylan Shambo. That is perfectly fine, man. There's no shame in, or I'm not like going to hate on you or anything for not picking the Army, or if you want to go, you know, Navy or Air Force or whatever the heck. It does not matter to me. Just do whatever you want to do, whichever one you think will help benefit you the most, whichever one you think aligns with your personality the most. Go ahead and do that. Cindy, I said no. I'm sorry. I do 2 one-arm pull-ups at once to save time. That's good, man. I'm going to basic soon and wanted to know how I can get out of staying at the hotel the night before. I don't think you can get out of that, man. I do not think you can. The only time you're not going to go to the hotel the night before will be like if you're in the reserves, because they don't go to the hotel the night before. They just kind of ship off. If you're active duty, you have to go to the hotel the night before and go through that whole MEPS process again. So, have I decided what I'm doing for 10K? No, I have not, because basically the main suggestion was to do 10,000 push-ups in a day. That's pretty unrealistic because we established that, you know, that's about 800 push-ups an hour as far as like my time available to do push-ups. And 800 push-ups an hour for 12 hours is pretty much impossible. Do I know anything about combat engineers? I'm enlisted with 12 Bravo as my MOS. I do know a little bit, and basically you will have a lot of fun if you are 12 Bravo. So like if you're picking 12 Bravo as your MOS, if you like, you know, blowing things up or doing things like that, if you are okay with being in combat or in a combat scenario, then, you know, combat engineers, like that's definitely a good pick. And I do like the MOS. Is it possible to change from active to reserves? It is, but after your contract, right? So if you guys didn't know, at any time when you sign up for the military, you are essentially signing up to an 8-year obligation. Like, you may only be doing that 3-year contract, but essentially you're signing up for 8 years to be in the military. So what that's called is IRR. It's like inactive ready reserve. So if you do 3 years of active duty, you're going to have 5 years where you're going to be on IRR status. And if you want to, what you can do is for those 5 years, you can just go to a reserve drill and you can drill. The only catch is during your IRR status, if you ever go to a drill, this works for the reserves too. So like if you are in the Army Reserves, you do your obligation time, and then you go to a drill when you're on IRR status, then you have to complete that, and you will have to keep going to drill for 5 years. But also, you could just finish your contract out, get a new contract, and yeah. And then you can get your new contract in the Army Reserves. Do a 10,000 calorie food challenge. Yeah, like that, I will think about that one. I will think about doing a 10,000 calorie food challenge. What if? But that's, I gotta first think if I can do that. Like, can I eat 10,000 calories in a day? Will I feel like total crap if I eat 10,000 calories a day? I'm not sure, but that's definitely a possibility. What if anything do I do to protect my joints? I mean, I take vitamins and minerals. Like, I have the I guess proper nutrition and stuff, and that definitely helps. I'm currently, you know, I bought nicer shoes, and that actually will help a lot. And then as far as my running goes, if you guys didn't know, you should be, whenever you run, you should hit with the middle part of your foot and then kind of, you know, go forward. You shouldn't be heel striking. And before, I kind of was doing a little, it wasn't like a super bad heel strike, but I was definitely hitting with my heel first before running and then going. So something I've helped with my running, and it's helped me not get any like shin splints or anything into my knees. So that's something that I'm definitely doing to help prevent injuries as I am running a lot more than I've ever run before. So buy yourself a cake and celebrate. 10K minutes World War II stream. I don't know what that means. 10K seconds? 10,000 seconds. Oh, God, how long is that? So 10,000 seconds. So 10,000 divided by 60. So 166 minutes. So that's basically almost 3 hours. That's also a thing. Shoot 10,000 rounds through your AR. Yeah, Maximus Gaming suggested that, and that's just a lot of money. Like, if I get like the cheapest of the cheap ammo, first of all, I wouldn't be able to shoot all that at once because I might screw up the barrel. I would have to shoot that through a period of time. But like the cheapest of the cheap ammo would be like $0.25 per round. So $0.25 per round is, I don't know, that's like $250. That's a lot of money. Do they inspect your butthole at MEPS? Yes. 10,000 burpees. Another impossible task. I would rather do 10,000 push-ups than 10,000 burpees. For sure. For sure. Do a collab with me for 10,000. Dude, we've been talking about it. And you still haven't sent me a message on Facebook. Still haven't got it. So, what's going on, Matt? Maximus Gaming. What are some of the things you can do in active duty that you can't do in reserves? So, if you are in the Army Reserves, what can you not do? Well, you're not going to be in basically a unit to where you can just like go airborne jumping all the time. So like if you're active duty and you're in an airborne unit, you're going to be doing jumps on a fairly regular basis. You're not going to do that in the reserves. You go to the range in the Army Reserves like every 6 months. When you're active duty, it might be a little bit more often. It might not. It kind of just depends on if you're preparing for a deployment or not. But what can you do? I mean, there's a lot of things that it's just like the active duty life is different in general. So it'd be it's hard to compare that. $2,500 would be 10,000 bullets. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, that's crazy. I mean, I could probably buy like a huge case of stuff, but yeah, that's crazy. I mean, maybe if I got like multiple weapons, but $250, like if somebody donated $250, then I would shoot 10,000 rounds. That would be really cool. Do a collab with Nava the Beast on YouTube. I mean, if that ever came to it, then sure. But I don't know how I'd get in touch with them. Some parachute 10,000 feet in the air, free fall 10,000 while parachuting, streaming it live. Parachute 10,000 feet in the air. Ooh, that would be kind of cool to skydive. A person would, shoot. Where'd it go? A person would advise RTC through your masters depending on your degree. It's a lot harder to complete with active duty. Yes. How much the RPG launcher? I'm not sure what that means. Cynthia. Well, tell her I said hey too. 10,000 minute World War II stream, like live stream World War II for 10,000 minutes. That's a long time. That is a long time. Oh, I'm definitely Laramie Rosado. That comment is definitely getting hidden, for sure. Oh, okay, I got your message. Replying. Anyways. Jayon Woodward, say hi. Hi. Just having a brainstorm session right now. Do I know anyone who's flat-footed in the Army? My little brother is a little bit more flat-footed, and it's a common myth that people think that you can't join the Army if you're flat-footed, or you're going to have like a really hard time in the military if you're flat-footed, and that is definitely not true. What am I trying to branch after graduating ROTC? I already have my branch and stuff, which is a signal officer, so I'm going to be 25 Alpha. Signal officered. Make a Discord channel? What's a Discord channel? What is a Discord channel? Is it difficult to transfer from National Guard to active duty? Clint Benoit. Yes and no. Basically, all you have to do is if you can get a release form, I believe you have to go and talk to your recruiter as well as your unit, or talk to a recruiter as well as your unit, because you're going to have to get like a new contract or new things set up. But you basically just need to get a form filled out and signed and all this stuff. But you're also going to have to get that approved. And then if your unit allows you to go, then it'll be simple. But if not, then it could obviously be very difficult, and it could take some time. It could take, you know, a long time. So, I mean, I would not think that it would take less than a couple of months. It would take, in my opinion, much longer than a few months. So, do you know people can tag you in your comments? Yes. Flat feet hasn't been disqualification since the draft. Yeah, that is pretty much where the common misconception that the flat feet thing, you can't really join the military if you have flat feet. That is basically where that came from. You can use your cell for it, and it's just awesome. Get an account and upload it to your cell phone, and I'll help sort it out for you. Discord, if that's what you're talking about, then I will do that later. Are you still religious or what? It just in your childhood? Yes, I am still Baptist. I still go to church every day. I went to church today. Or I don't go to church every day, but I go to church every Sunday. And yes, I am. Good evening, sir. Jahoan BE. What's going on, man? Do you know Nava the Beast? No, I don't. I've never talked to him. I've just seen some videos just like you guys, but I don't really watch a lot because I don't really have much of a reason to. I basically kind of stay in my own lane and do my own thing, kind of thing. Trust me, your followers will love it. Okay, well I'm gonna check it out, man. Will you be a full-time officer? No, but I'm definitely gonna be doing more stuff than I am now. Are you eventually switching over to active duty? No, but I will probably deploy very, very shortly after my training. The reason I've talked about this a whole bunch of times, but the reason that I don't want to go active duty is because if I do active duty, then I can't do what I really want to do in life, right? If I do reserves, then I can deploy and I can also do my job and my civilian stuff that I want to do. YouTube is also another thing that could be an issue whenever you're active duty. So like I can't accomplish what I want to accomplish in life if I go active duty, but I can being in the reserves, deploying every couple of years. So anyways. Johan. Oh, okay, Johan. Gotcha. Jahoan Woodward. Hi. Donald Trump. What YouTubers do I watch? As far as military YouTubers, I basically only watch Nick Bear. I watch all of his stuff because I don't know. I like his videos and stuff. And then what else do I watch? What do I watch? I don't watch as much as I used to. I watch like vlogging people. I watch like Casey Neistat. Like who doesn't watch Casey Neistat? Like if you don't watch Casey Neistat, it's just like such an entertaining thing watching his videos in my opinion. Who else? I kind of been flipping back and forth around. But that's kind of it. I've been doing a lot of just browsing on YouTube recently, I guess. No, Maximus. What is he? So does ReactTooth put everything up for review for his what? I don't know what you're talking about. What is my dream job? Doing what I'm doing right now. Basically, and I'm not saying like YouTube is my dream job because it's not. Like it would be like extremely cool. Like if I could do this as a job, but like, you know, right now it's not like my main job or anything like that. But my dream job is to be a software developer and to develop stuff. And that's kind of what I'm doing. The real dream would be for me to have my own software company and to develop whatever the heck I want to develop. But that's pretty much my dream job. Yes, my name is Matthew Ward and my name is Matt. That is in all of my intros. When did I join the military? February 13th, 2015 is my time and service date where my time and service starts. February 13th, 2015. How's dating been since your breakup? I mean, I've gone on like a few like dates that you actually would qualify as dates, but then I've been like, you know, hanging out with people. But at the time, like, I'm like way too busy for a girlfriend, like a serious girl. Like, I would not be able to give any girl the attention that she would need right now. Like, I'm just way too busy. How hard is it to get your desired branch through ROTC? It's actually pretty difficult. The way ROTC works whenever you're getting your branches is you will assign in order of precedence your branches that you want. So you're going to give a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, a number 4, all the way down, and you're going to do that. Then you're going to go through ROTC, and you're going to get graded on everything. You're going to get graded on your grade in ROTC, your PT score, your gosh, what do you call them? Basically, your instructors and stuff, they're going to grade you, and they're going to rank you, and they're going to fill out all these forms and stuff, and you're going to get assessed at summer training. You're going to have all this stuff being assessed on you. And then all that's going to be thrown into this big calculator and system and algorithm and stuff. And there's a computer that is basically going to pick what your MOS, your job is going to be. And it's going to base off of your top 3. But it is kind of like a 50-50 shot if you get your number 1 pick, if you are a good soldier or not. If you're not really that good, if you're not really high on that list, then it's unlikely that you'll get your number 1 pick. So anyways, it's unlikely. If you want to go active duty, if you want to go reserves or National Guard, it is much more simple, because all you really have to do is find a unit that has a vacancy, and if they will hold that vacancy request for you, then you will get it. So anyways, I am 10 and I want to be in Special Forces. Yeah, Matt Smith, you have the right advice. I said pretty much the same thing in my How to Prepare for the Military When You're Young. If you are 10 years old, you can't even join Special Forces when you're like 17. You have to be, I believe, 21 at the age that you finish Special Forces training, which means you have to be, I believe, about 19 or so once you actually enlist. So you got like 9 years. So don't even really think about it that much, because that's a long time, like double your lifespan time. So yeah, enjoy being young. I was told that the military pretty much ends your chance at a relationship as long as you're in it. Is that true? No, that is not true, but I will say, being in the military and being in a relationship, it just obviously puts more of a restraint on your relationship. It doesn't matter if you're active duty or reserves or National Guard. It is going to have some kind of strain on your relationship that that you just won't have when you're a civilian, because like even if you are in the reserves or National Guard, you're still going to be gone for training for months at a time possibly. You're going to miss weekends, and then you're going to get deployed every now and then. So anyways, but it's not impossible. Like there's people like that don't really care if you're in the military or not. They might just like you for you, and that's totally fine. Blessed soul, at least he has a dream. Oh, that's funny. But yeah. Yep. What things should I bring to basic, and what will I be buying at the PX? Basically, what should you bring to basic training? The clothes on your back, a toothbrush, a razor, possibly like a travel size like shaving cream and shampoo and stuff like that. And then what you're gonna buy at basic, you can buy. Oh, you should also bring some stamps. You should bring some stamps to basic training. But you're gonna buy at the PX when you're at reception. You're gonna get shoes. You're gonna get like notebooks and stuff to write stuff down on. You can buy soap and stuff there if you want to. All the essentials that you're going to need at basic training is basically what you're going to buy. But yes, you will have to buy the shoes. It doesn't matter if you brought your own shoes and they're like the nicest of the nice running shoes. You have to buy the shoes. Yes, I watch Nick Bear. Anyways. Anyone else shipping tomorrow? I'm at MEPS right now going to Fort Benning. Benji got vibe. Awesome, dude. Good luck tomorrow, man. Good luck. Get some sleep tonight. Get some sleep. Dylan Shambo. Thank you. Thank you. Did you follow me? I got a notification. I got Elijah Morgan. Who's the most recent person that followed me on Instagram? I got, yeah, Elijah Morgan, and then Gio, Vanny, and then, yeah, so if you follow me, I could, like, totally give you, like, a shout-out on here. Do you think the Army should add a swim test? No, I do not think it should add a swim test because we're not the Navy, and you are pretty much never going to be in a scenario where you're going to have to swim. I know there actually is a swim test, and I actually could have done it the other day. That they do it for cadets, and it's like a little combat swim test where you have your full uniform on and some weight and stuff, and they give us a rifle, and we jump off of a high dive into the water with your eyes closed. And you have to like swim and stuff and do certain things like that. But it's not like a pass-fail thing. It's just to, you know, I guess assess you, just so for yourself, so you can know how you are with your swimming. And then you have to like swim up and down in the water for 10 minutes, and then you have to tread water for 5 minutes. So like there is like a swimming test, but none of it is like pass-fail. And I don't think that should be required because the Army is land, the Navy is water. Yeah, Aaron Cox. Yeah, the MEPS is the same for everybody. Did somebody ask that question? I'm going in a few. Don't want to exit the stream. I can swim. It just takes a while. Oh, okay. You are Elijah Morgan. I'm sorry if I'm like screwing up your first name. Aliyah. Oh man, I'm just so bad at this. I'm so bad. How do I deal with anti-military parents? Just kind of tell them what it is, man. That's funny. Just like tell them how it is. You know, if your parents don't want you to join the military, then, you know, just, you know, sit them down, talk to them, just tell them like it's something you want to do. You know, if you hate it, if you don't like it, like it's not like a life choice kind of thing. There's a lot of benefits from joining the military and then, you know, being done with your first contract. There's a lot of benefits that will help you in life. Have I ever shot a Stinger missile? No, but I have shot the AT-4 rocket launcher, which was pretty cool. So you can Google that. How old am I? 24. Is 92 Foxtrot a bad MOS? No. Hey, William Poole. Paint your room red, white, and blue. Yeah, I can do one in each wall like a different color. Thank you. Thank you for your donation, bro. Thank you so much. That would be funny. But I'm thinking, like I said, this flag, I really think, or I should probably do it like this. But that flag, again, I've said it before, is temporary. I think I'm actually going to do what I wanted to do, which is build the big flag and just build a wooden flag and paint that and make it look all cool. I think I'm going to do that very soon. What is a paratrooper? Is that a job or sport to do in the Army? A paratrooper is basically means you're airborne, so you're airborne qualified. What was the length of your 25 Bravo contract? 6 years. 6 years was the length of my 25 Bravo contract, although that is now null and void. I don't have that anymore. I'm still in the military and getting time and service and stuff, and I'll be about I'll be 3 years in once I graduate, but then I'll have another 4-year obligation once I graduate in May. So the first chance I have to get out of the military will be at 7 years, but I'm not going to. You should sign that flag and give it away. That's actually a pretty good idea. Pretty good idea. Although I feel like that probably isn't good for the flag. Maybe I'll put it. Maybe I'll like sign the back of it. So like, because I don't want to like damage the flag. So maybe I'll sign like the back of it, and then you can like hang it up and then just tell people. Thanks, Matt. Matt Smith Gaming. This is your ticket to Alberta, Canada, to get you shooting with me, or we could do Canadian Army and U.S. collab. Keep doing what you do, man. Thanks, bro. Thank you. Yeah, I'll message you and stuff later. For those of you who don't know, we're probably gonna be doing a collab sometime soon. My first ever collab. I guess if you don't count the ones with my brothers, which don't really count. I guess I just featured them on the channel. But I don't know if that pays for a ticket to Canada. But I mean, in the future of my YouTube channel, like I totally want to like travel around and meet, you know, different military YouTubers and do stuff like that. And I've never been to Canada before, and that would be really cool. But right now it's super cold. Like, it's really cold. Thank you. Collabs for the win. Yes. Have I ever killed anyone? No, only mentally. Only mentally. If you ride 1,000 bald eagles, then you could. Yeah, I could totally do that. Do you know anything about cyber in the Army? Yes, I actually know a good bit about cyber and the training and stuff. What is your question? So what is your question about cyber, or do you just want me to talk about cyber? What is this? Natalie Castanad. Oh my god. I'm so bad at names. I can't do it. I can't do names. Followed you on Snap. What was your name here? Dylan Shambo. All you guys. Can it focus? Can it focus? It's not gonna focus. Whatever. Anyways, Jake Alpazer. Is that how you say it? Apazeller? He followed me, Dylan, and then Christian on Snapchat. Because, you know, it's right there. But anyways. Am I afraid of war? No. But at the same time, I think people, like, it would be like a crazy experience to go through, to be in that firefight and stuff. But, like, it's just one of those things, like, if you ever hear somebody say, like, oh, I'm not scared of, you know, dying or blah, 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 whatever, but then they've never had a bullet shot past their head or, like, had their life flash in front of their eyes because of a certain thing, it's one of those things that you don't really know how you're going to react until it happens. And, like, there's certain things that the military training and stuff that I've gone through, it really shows you and brings out who you are as a person when you're in these extremely stressful environments and training scenarios, and you're going through these thick lanes and stuff. And in the Army, the saying is, we train how we fight. So if you are at basic training, you're doing one of these six lanes during the FTX, and you're just doing it nonchalantly, or you don't know how to be super aggressive, then when it comes time for the real bullets to start flying and real things to start happening, you might be way more tentative and scared to do anything, and that's pretty much how you get killed and you die. So I wouldn't say that I'm super scared for it, but I think I'm ready if I were to do it. But then I wouldn't say that, you know, it's stupid to say that you wouldn't be kind of scared for your life if you got like 50 people shooting at you and you got 50 cows and a sniper going over your head. Like, that would be kind of crazy. My little brother, you know, he basically almost died, you know, a couple of weeks ago because of a mortar round hitting really close to him. So, you know, this is real life stuff. This is real life stuff. And to say that it's not potentially scary, or to say that, oh, I'm a man, I'm not scared at all, is crazy, or you're lying to yourself, really. What's my dream car? Probably like a Mercedes. I used to say like Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. That used to be like the car I would say all the time. That was like my thing whenever I was younger. I haven't really thought too much about it. But like currently, like I really want a Tesla. Like I've told everybody, like my next car is going to be a Tesla. Like it's going to be a Tesla. I bought my 2016 Honda Civic last year, and I plan on just having this car for the next couple of years. So around about 2020, 2021, I should have the money. I should have the ability to buy a Tesla, and then hopefully by then the self-driving should be allowed on the roads, and then that's kind of the thing. So I really want a Tesla at this point. But as far as like a sports car kind of thing, I really like Mercedes and stuff. And I don't know if you guys saw the Tesla Roadster that they just announced during the Tesla truck event. What is it? But yeah, like the Tesla Roadster that they announced during the event is crazy. 0 to 60 and 1.9 seconds. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but 1.9 seconds, 0 to 60. It's got, you know, you can go over 250 miles an hour, 620 mile range, and this is for the base model. So this is for like the model that they have right now. It releases in 2020. I don't know, maybe if I'm a millionaire by then I can get it, but I doubt that would happen. But yeah, like, yeah, the Tesla Roadster is awesome. What's up, Exit Larry? What's up? I'm just gonna call you Larry, man. What's up? I heard you get a massage daily in boot camp. Is this true? No, that's not true. Self-driving Charlotte. Yeah, also the other thing I'm pumped about is because I live in the city, I'm moving to Houston, Texas, because that's where my unit's going to be at. Because it's, you know, a city, Tesla has more of their supercharging stations there, so it's a lot easier to have a Tesla when you're in the city as of right now. So that's one of the other things I'm excited about. All these super chat tips are paying for your 2020 Tesla. Yeah, for sure. Do I like the Airman song? Like the Air Force song that is the version of the Army song. I don't really know it that well, so I don't know. I was worried about running too. I run every other day and I've improved so much. Take it slow and work your way up. Yeah, the big thing, all right, so I want to make a video about running really soon, especially because I've been taking my own advice on this, and that is if you want to get better at running, if you have time to get better, if you're not leaving for basic training for a couple of months or even longer than that, just build up the volume of miles that you're doing. So if you're only running 3 miles a week right now, which would be, you know, maybe 3 times a week you're running 1 mile, you need to first off bump that number up and try to get to 10 miles a week. That should be a baseline goal for people to do, just like 10 miles a week. And whether that's doing it all in one shot where you're going to be doing 3 miles a day for a couple of days, or you're just doing 3 sets of a 1 mile run. But anyways, you got to increase the amount of volume of your run. So just increase that, and then the speed that you'll be able to do a 2 mile run will just increase naturally, because if you're struggling to do a 2 mile run now and you're only running, you know, 5 miles a week, well, if you bump that number up to running 15 miles a week, you're just naturally going to be able to do your 2 mile run faster. So test yourself with the beep test every month. Yeah, that would be pretty good. Heart rate monitor training. Yes. So where did it go? So I have my Apple Watch. Oops. So I have my Apple Watch right here, and it's got the heart rate monitor. So what I've been trying to do whenever I've been running my 4 mile runs every day, or it was 3 mile runs, but what I've been doing for my 4 mile runs is I'm trying to keep my heart rate below 170. And that's what I'm trying to do. So above 160, below 170 is kind of where I'm trying to keep my heart rate. And that is a pretty good way to track my progress, because, you know, the faster I get, the more I run, the faster I'll be able to go with that heart rate. And that's just a really slow, or it's a pretty slow jog. It's like an 8. I'm doing 4 miles at about an 8:20, 8:30 pace or whatever. Nothing crazy. And then twice a week I'm doing a faster run to build that up. But yeah, definitely. Do I know how to cut your total calories? Is that what you're asking, Michael? Number one, if you're trying to lower your calories, stop drinking soda and stop drinking things that have calories. And that's probably going to cut your calories by a couple hundred a day. If you already did that, then stop eating fast food and just junk food in general. That will probably cut things out just right away. And then after that, that's going to, for most people, going to drop their calories and make their eating habits a whole lot more healthy just in and of itself. So if you stop drinking things that have calories and sugar and stuff like that, and you stop eating fast food, that's going to help a lot of people out. But beyond that, then you have to start looking actually at calories and what things are on labels and stuff. So at that point, just start tracking your calories on the MyFitnessPal app. And that's a really good way. Just track it, and that's how you're going to lower it, really. Have I been to Afghanistan? No. My brother is in Afghanistan right now. What was your Asvab score? Mine was a 99. Did you really get a 99? Because that is the highest you can get. But I got a 91. A 91 on my Asvab. Which, if you guys don't know what the Asvab score means, so the Asvab score is not like an actual percentage, right? What it means is it is a percentage of how well you did based on everybody else. So I scored a 91, which means for people who have graduated high school, I did better than 90% of the people. And that's also another thing. If you are in high school and you haven't graduated high school yet, you're not going to be compared to the same people. You're not going to be compared to people who are in college if you are in high school taking the ASVAB test. So that's something to keep in mind. So yeah, so technically it's harder to score higher when you're out of high school or in college. What do I think about the protest against our flag? I don't know if you're talking about the kneeling or if you're talking about people actually protesting the flag, but I think if you're actually protesting the flag, I personally think it's kind of stupid. I know people are like, oh, it's, you know, freedom of speech, freedom to do whatever you want, but it's like you're protesting the thing that's giving you the freedom to protest that thing, which makes it's just counterintuitive and backwards to me. So, yeah. Also, any suggestions for 10,000 subs? 10,000 subs, any suggestions? Right now, the most viable option is the 10,000 calorie challenge, where I try to eat 10,000 calories in a day. That will be difficult. Basic training life, showers, chow, etc. So, basic training life. I guess I could talk about this for a little bit. When you wake up in the morning, you are going to have a couple of minutes to, you know, not shower. You're going to have a few minutes to, you know, brush your teeth and shave and stuff like that. Then you're going to go to PT. Once you get done with PT, you may or may not have time to shower. And if you do have time to shower after PT, it's only going to be about a minute to 2 minutes, okay? Because you're only going to have about 5 minutes to get ready. So from the time you break from the PT formation to the time you have to be back down for formation for breakfast, you're probably going to have about 5 minutes if you're lucky. That's going to be a good amount of time. So in those 5 minutes, you can run up and you can go take a 30-second shower just to wipe off some sand and get some stuff off of your face and stuff like that. And then whenever you change, you're going to go back down to formation. You're going to go to breakfast. Chow, the DFAC. If you go to the DFAC, it's actually not all that bad. It does get kind of old after a few weeks because it's basically the same thing. But DFAC food, honestly, really isn't that bad. It's definitely better than I thought, but things are pretty bland. Like, I really liked the pancakes at the beginning. I thought they were pretty good. And then after, you know, eating pancakes all the time, they just got really old. But anyways. And then other things. What are other things I can talk about? Every day is going to be a little bit different because you're going to have a different objective to do for that day, different training exercise. But as far as the life goes, the entire time you're at basic training, you're always trying to hit time hacks, which is why I recommend having a watch. Not a smart watch, but just a normal cheapo watch that's waterproof. Because all the time you're going to have, you got 5 minutes to complete this, you got 10 minutes to complete this, you got 5 minutes to get everybody changed and ready in this area, and you got all these time hacks all the time. And that's kind of just how life is at basic training. And then at the end of the day, once you're done with all your training, you're going to be back up in the barracks and you can kind of just chill out for a little bit, depending on the time. It could be, you know, just an hour of free time. It could be a couple hours of free time, actually, where then you can shower at the end of the day. You can have plenty of time to shower at the end of the day if you want to. You can do your laundry. You can do all these certain things, but it's, yeah, that's basic training life. If I weren't in the Army, what else should I pick? If you're talking about branches, I would have picked the Air Force besides the Army, but I never considered anything else. Say 10K 10,000 times per day for a week. No. Will, why you hide a message? 10,000 push-ups for a push-up challenge. That was one of those unrealistic things that I'm definitely not going to be able to do. Canadian MREs are literally just bottles of maple syrup. That's funny. Also, MREs are okay. The big thing about MREs at basic training that makes them suck is you don't have time to heat them up. You don't have really time to actually enjoy it. You might have like 2 or 3 minutes to eat your MRE, and that is not enough time to take your MRE out, put the thing in the heater, have it heat up. And when your MREs are cold, they taste a lot worse. If you have the time to heat up your MRE, they just taste better. So, anyways. Do a front wheel drive burnout for 10K. I don't know. Is World War II worth it? If you like Call of Duty, then I would say yes. How often do you eat MREs? At basic training, in red phase, you're going to eat at the DFAC like every day. Pretty much, you might have an MRE every now and then. Once you're in white phase, you're going to have 1 MRE for lunch every day because you're going to be at the range pretty all day long. So you're going to go to the DFAC for breakfast. Then for lunch, you're going to have an MRE. And then for dinner, you're going to eat at the DFAC. Or you might have field chow, which field chow is basically where they take food from the DFAC and they bring it to you. And you usually don't get as much food either. And you'll have like one little tiny styrofoam cup of like some pink Gatorade. And then in blue phase, you'll probably eat 2 MREs a day at some point. But for the most part, you'll eat 1 MRE a day. You could just, once white phase starts, you can have 1 MRE a day for the rest of your time. Who has control in an air show? I don't know what you mean. Are you allowed to talk to females during basic and AIT? If you go to if you are at a basic training area where you're going to have females in your company or your platoon, you can talk to them, but you need to be careful when you talk to them. You don't want to get like a sharp complaint. You don't want to see like, you don't ever want to be hanging out with or around a female by yourself. Like, it should never be 1 guy and 1 female. It should, if you're ever with a girl, it should be 1 guy and 2 females. So you can talk to them, just, you got to be mindful. We should do some pub stomping on World War II. I might play some Call of Duty later tonight. I got some other stuff to do before I have time to do anything. So after this live stream, I've got a little bit of homework to do. I got tomorrow's video to edit and upload because I haven't done that yet. And then, yeah. And then I got like a quiz, an online quiz to do. Have I seen someone killed? Through video, yes, but not first person. Yeah, I got some people following me. Brian Hiot, Aaron Art, and Ben Opum. And Madison Huez. I can't pronounce y'all's names. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. How long am I serving for? Once I graduate this year, 2018, I'm going to have a 4-year obligation, but I'm going to be in the military for 20 plus years. Like, that's just, as the way my life is right now, I'm definitely going to do it. Mill or FAA? I don't know what you're talking about, Michael Donovan. Asking serving and veterans questions like that. Yeah, you probably shouldn't. I don't really mind it because, like, I haven't killed anybody or, like, witnessed people dying. If I had, probably wouldn't like talking about it too much. So, like, if you ever, like, yeah, you probably shouldn't talk to people who are, like, combat veterans that have, like, done that. Usually they don't like talking about it that much. You gotta go, you have school tomorrow. That sucks. Yeah. What state do I live in currently? Charlotte, North Carolina. So North Carolina. Thanks, Maximus. Thank you for your donation, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Asvab tips video. Maybe, but like all my tips that I've done for Asvabs is like the best way to prepare is just to take practice tests, and that's what you're going to hear from a lot of people. It's not like a real thing that you can like prepare for. Like this topic is what you're going to get questions on, so study this exact thing. It's kind of difficult to do that. Just to have a better understanding. Again, it's kind of like the SAT. So how do you study for the SAT? Well, you take practice tests. You take the pre-SAT. That is something that you do. That is really the main thing a lot of people do. And then you can like study certain areas that you know you're weak on. But, you know, if I made a video on the Asvab, that's pretty much what I would say. So I don't know. We'll see. Would you ever make or coordinate a subscriber meetup in the future? Yeah, of course. Of course I'll do that. You guys could pretty much meet up with me right now anytime you want if you go to the same gym as me. You know what school I go to. I go to UNC Charlotte. I'm in their ROTC program. And then I go to the gym every night on campus. So if you ever want to meet up with me, it'll cost you like, well, it'll cost you like $5, or you can like wait outside or something. But I don't recommend doing that. But like you know, if you go to the school, then you could just meet up with me there, and I'd be happy to work out with you guys. That'd be fun. Hey Matt, I just remember this from our earlier video. Your YouTube diagnostics are going to show your viewers being a lot older than they are. The younger crowd just lies to get past the YouTube filters. Yeah, I mean, I talked about that before, but like I do have viewers that I think it goes from 13 to 17. It's like 10% of my viewers, and I'm sure there are some younger people, but the age for the military is 17 to 34, and that's just where 80% of the people that watch my channel are. So that statistic is pretty much correct. Dude, you're a White Sox fan? Yes. I am a Chicago White Sox fan. I don't think I have anything Chicago White Sox around me right now, but yes. When I join, I plan to be in for 20 years. Yeah, it's definitely something really good to have. Especially, like, it's one of those things, like, even if you do active duty, if you get out of active duty, you should switch to the reserves or the National Guard just to get that that time in to help with your retirement, because that is something that you will regret not having if you are older. So like it may not be life-changing, but you know, an extra $1,000 a month whenever you're 60 years old would be really nice. Or if you do 20 years of active duty, it'd be way more than $1,000 a month. But yeah. When am I going to come visit? When are you going to come visit? Where, Aaron? Come visit where? I'm 16, but I think my mom made my Gmail account when I was around 5 years old. Take it day by day at a time. Yeah, like the thing about saying you're going to do 20 years, there's like two things I have to say about that. Like, if you're going to do active duty and you say you're going to do 20 years, that's one thing. Whenever I first enlisted into the military, like my thought was that I was kind of just going to see how it goes. I was going to do my first contract in the reserves. But saying I'm going to do over 20 years in the reserves is pretty much guaranteed. My first chance I'm going to have to get out is at 7 years. And that's pretty soon. So in 4 years, I'm going to have, or less than 4 years. So, you know, 3.5 years from now, I'll have a chance to re-enlist, or not re-enlist, or re-up my officer contract. And then when that one's over, I'm going to be about, you know, 13, 14 years in the military, but it's going to be Army Reserves. And that's just super easy to do, you know, 25, 30 years. Active duty is a different story because you don't really know how it's going to be. And it consumes your entire life. But yeah. But a lot of people that say they're going to do 20 years, they do 20 years. It's also kind of funny. A lot of people that say that that kind of hate the military their first year, they actually end up doing 20 years. It's kind of funny. How much free time is there during basic training? I made a video about that, but, you know, depending on the day, you're going to have between 30 minutes and 3 hours. What's the difference between National Guard and Reserves? National Guard has combat MOSs. The Reserves is all support MOSs because we basically support active duty whenever we get deployed, or active duty units. And then National Guard has combat MOSs because they are also a state military. So they're the state military. Reserves is only federal. So the Reserves is not going to be deployed for anything stateside, whereas the National Guard will. So that's pretty much the two main differences right there. Also, some benefits might be slightly different. Again, I've talked about that in a video before. I want to know your opinion on the Marines. I want to get as many opinions as I can get. My opinions on the Marines, honestly, like, if you're wanting to join the Marines because you want to be like super hua and you want to be like in combat and do all this grunt work stuff, like, I feel like just go infantry, or go special forces, or try to go ranger contract. You'll get treated better or whatever, I'm sure. But the Marines is still a good branch. Like, it's going to be tougher than other branches as far as like physically. You're going to be, I guess, a lot more disciplined in certain areas and whatever. The uniform's going to be a lot more disciplined. I mean, you can tell, like, Marine uniform versus Army uniforms, like, they're super strict on certain things. But, I mean, it's all pretty much, they're all pretty much infantry. Like, no matter what your MOS is in the Marines. But anyways. What's the difference between the Marines and Army? There's an unlimited amount of differences because that's like, there's just so many. Will I ever run out of content, in my opinion? I don't think so, because like whenever, if you're talking about for my channel, like, I basically am talking about things that I am living through and my experiences that I've gone through. And I'm also going over things that I'm currently going through. So, like, I'm right now, I am about to graduate college in ROTC and be a second lieutenant. So there's a few things right there. I'm going to go to Bullock and I'll be doing that. I'll get deployed and I'll be able to talk about seeing things like that. And then also, you guys provide me with a million different topic ideas every single day. So I have a list on my phone of notes for different video topics, and I've got a lot of them. And, you know, if I sat down every day and thought of, you know, every day I just thought of 2 video ideas, I could definitely do that. So I don't think I ever will. At the same time, if I incorporate 1 vlog a week, that also takes some of the pressure off of videos. So you should do a video with Nava the Beast. Larry, I have heard that before, especially in this live stream. This is like the 4th time. But maybe one day in the future. When you end your years in the military, what do you see yourself doing? Retiring. I don't really like to think like way that far out. Like, I want to be a software developer. I want to like have my own software company. I don't know. Like, what do I see myself doing? Traveling a lot. I don't know. I'll be like 50 years old. So I'll be pretty old because I want to be in the military, not for just 20 years, like 25 years. I'm going in the Marines because I feel like it's best for me. I like a challenge, and this is one heck of a challenge. Yes, that is for sure. Do an MRE review. Yeah, I guess I could do a video with like eating an MRE, or like with some of my family members that have never had an MRE. Maybe I could eat an MRE with them. If you like that idea, that would be something that I could do. What are some pros and cons about basic? There's a lot. There's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons. So like I couldn't really talk too much about that unless you want me to talk for forever. But Pros is it makes you a soldier. It increases your it increases a lot of good things about your personality. It makes you more organized. It makes you more structured. It puts you through a rough time in your life. So when you've been through rough times in your life, then you appreciate the good times a lot more. And then the cons, it sucks. Just point blank and simple. Like, a lot of basic training sucks. Especially if you go over the summer at Fort Benning like I did. It's going to be super hot and super annoying, and you're going to get this thing called heat rash. At least I get heat rash. I hope you guys don't get heat rash. And that's basically, yeah, you'll figure it out. If you don't know what heat rash is, Google it. 10,000 calorie MRE challenge. Oh my gosh. I would not, Noah Carlson, I do not want to eat 10,000 calories in MREs. Like, each one is like 1,500 calories, I believe. So I would have to do a few. I would have to eat like 6 of them or something. Like, that would not be good for my stomach, eating 6 MREs. That would not be good. Combat Veteran YouTube channel. I like his stuff. Is pretty funny. It'd be kind of funny to do a thing with him. Did I ever think about being a Navy SEAL? I thought it would be really cool. I guess I thought about it back whenever I was going to join Special Forces in the Army. It was one of the options back then, I guess. But it'll be really cool. But I didn't really seriously consider that. Have you ever been to Advanced Seaburn? No. If you're talking about some of the other more toxic or hurtful gases that they'll put you through, like if you're going to be a chemical soldier, so one of those guys, a chemical officer, a chemical soldier, you're going to have to go through some extra gas chambers that are going to be more intense than the one at basic training, so that sucks. But no, I've never done that. I'm 10 and I want to do 20, but half of my life will be over. Yeah, like, again, if you're 10 years old, it's just a long ways away, man. That's a long ways away. Don't even worry about it right now. What was that question? How bad will the cold in? I mean, it's gonna be cold, man. It's gonna be Fort Leonard Wood. It's gonna be cold. What was that? Oh my gosh, do MRE muck bags? Is there any point where you thought you were gonna die at basic training? No. There was one point where I thought I was literally going to fall out or be a heat casualty, and that was like one day. It was an extremely hot day at basic training, and then we had to ruck march to the grenade range. And because we're going to the grenade range, we were wearing our IOTVs, which are basically the bulletproof vests and stuff that you wear, and then we were rucking there. And it was extremely hot, and a lot of people fell out, and we were walking for miles and miles. I don't remember how far it was. They didn't tell us, but it was miles and miles. And it was just so hot. I was sweating like crazy. The IOTV made myself just feel like super heavy. And that was like the hardest ruck I've ever done. I thought I was probably going to pass out. I definitely was very close to passing out, just like a lot of other people. But that was probably the time whenever I thought I was like, I can't make it. That was like the one time at basic training where I thought I was like, I can't do this. But anyways, because I hate ruck marching, and that, like, a ton of people fell out and were heat cats. But anyways. What duty station options will you have when you're 25 Bravo? Basically all of them. I looked at a list the other day for a signal officer, so 25 Alpha. And 90% of places you can go. So pretty much all of them. What is the difference between 68 Charlie, 68 Whiskey, 68 Delta? I mean, there is a difference. I don't know a whole lot about it. You could probably just Google the differences more than I could do. But they're all, they're all going to be medical stuff. So I don't think I could give much of an informative response to that. I'm sorry. for infantry. Somebody donated. Brady Hazel, thank you for that $1 donation. That is awesome. You didn't write a message. What's going on? Is running with a cadence like the best thing ever? Yes and no. All right, so I kind of miss it actually. That's probably one of the biggest things I miss. Is like being that motivation that you feel like whenever you have a platoon sergeant or somebody who's doing a running cadence and they're doing a really good job and they're hyping you up and you're running and they're just doing a really good job. That is fun. Like that is a lot of fun doing running cadence with somebody who's loud. Everybody's sounding off. Everybody's motivated. Like that is an awesome feeling, and it just motivates you to keep on going. So that's really fun. But at the same time, doing running cadences and stuff, they're supposed to help you with your breathing and everybody staying in step and in rhythm and stuff like that. But if you're running at a really fast pace, it's kind of hard to yell and talk and be loud and stuff because you'll be tired. But man, there's one of my platoon sergeants at AIT. He was just the best at running cadences, and I miss that. That was such a fun time whenever he would do it, because he would just ad lib and he would just he would do a running cadence and then he would just go off and do his own thing, and it was awesome. So, anyways, do I have any friends in Special Forces? I have one friend who's actually a good friend of mine that he went through Special Forces training just recently, and he got injured, so he can't do Special Forces anymore. But he actually just got selected or picked up for the Old Guard. And if you don't know what the Old Guard is, like that is a really big honor and stuff. He just got stationed over in Washington D.C. like 3 days ago. So he's going to be in Washington D.C. for the next 3 years. That's going to be really, really cool. So if you don't know what the Old Guard is, if you ever see the soldiers in Washington D.C., like they're all perfect and everything, and they're doing all this stuff. And if you see them on TV and they do all the cool stuff, I guess you could say, or guarding the Tomb of the Unknown Soldiers and stuff like that, that is like the Old Guard, and it's a super huge honor. So I'm kind of psyched for him, because I'm like, dude, I was messaging him on Snapchat. I'm like, dude, you could meet the president, so that's really cool. But any friends who are currently Special Forces? No, but he did go through some of the Special Forces selection process, and then again, he got hurt. So anyways. Are you provided with a sufficient amount of drinking water at basic training? Yes, you are provided with all the water you want at basic training. Everywhere you go, there's going to be a place to fill up your water with a water buffalo. But for some reason, people don't do it. So 2 tips I have for you guys going to basic training. This is 2 tips. And there's 38 people watching right now, so you are the only ones that are going to get this. And I give this advice to everybody that I talk to. And I gave this advice to my little brother, and it helped him out. And it's something that I do every single time I'm in a military scenario. Tip number 1, every time you have a chance to fill up your water source, fill up your water source. All right? Tip number 2, every time you have a chance to use the bathroom, or in the military terms, use the latrine, use the latrine. Okay? And if you didn't know, whenever you go to basic training and stuff, the latrine is the bathroom. And if you donate, it's the little super chat button. But anyways, use the bathroom every single chance you have, because if you don't, you might not know when you're going to get to again. And when you're at basic training, you're going to be drinking water all the time. You're going to be sweating a lot. You're going to be drinking water a lot. People will be telling you to drink water all the time. So they might yell, the drill sergeant might yell, drink water. And whenever they yell, drink water, then everybody in the platoon will yell, drink water. And then everybody will drink water, right? So you might, pass up a bathroom opportunity, and then you might not have another one for a couple of hours, but during those couple of hours, you're going to be drinking 3 quarts of water, and you're going to have to use the bathroom. So, anyways, that's a tip. Use the bathroom every chance you get, and fill up your water every chance you get. And that's going to save 2 big issues that people have. You also get in a lot of trouble. If your Camelbak is not full of water at all times, you will get in trouble. So, do you have to go to the bathroom with your battle buddy? Yes. Would you ever be a drill sergeant? No, I would hate to be a drill sergeant. It would be fun for a week. It would be fun for maybe even one cycle, and a cycle is like one basic training company going through basic training. But it's a miserable job. Like, it's no wonder these drill sergeants are unhappy. First off, the divorce rate for drill sergeants, a drill sergeant's divorce rate in their marriages and stuff is the highest divorce rate of any job in the military. Reason being is you see your family the least out of any other job in the military, really, because what's going to happen is the drill sergeants are going to arrive at your company, arrive in the barracks, before you wake up. Sometimes they're going to stay the night at the barracks, and then when you guys go to bed, they will go home. So they're going to technically get less sleep than you, unless they're going to have their day off or whatever. But they're going to have less sleep than you. They're going to have less time with their family. Like, just, they're basically going to wake up, go to work, go be a drill sergeant, and then come home and their family's probably already asleep. So for that reason, no, I wouldn't want to. But it would be fun to smoke privates. That would be a lot of fun. Can a male battle buddy a female? No, you have to have 2 females for every male. So no. How can I improve my bench press? Super Hua 75. Yeah, bench press more. It's actually pretty simple to improve your bench press, your max, if you want to improve your max. So, like, if you want to build your chest muscle, then you have to work on doing higher reps and stuff, and that will build up the muscles. But for like maxing out on bench, you kind of have to build up the tendons in your shoulders and stuff in your body, basically, to support the weight. And the best way to just increase your max is just to start lifting heavier weight and do more of like a powerlifting style, where you're going to be doing sets of 3 rather than like sets of 10 for bench press. So if you have a spotter who can spot you, you can increase your bench pretty quick. Joshua, what's going on? So anyways, is it true you sign off freedom of speech? Yeah. I wanted to make a video. Some of the things that you give up, like some of the rights that you give up when you join the military. But yeah, when you are in the military, you do not have the rights and the freedoms that you have as a civilian. Whenever you sign that contract, whenever you go to base training and you join the military, you are giving up your rights that you had as a civilian, essentially to give others their rights, right? You do not have freedom of speech. You cannot talk about whatever the heck you want. You cannot, talk bad about anything the military is doing. So you can't do that. You can't talk bad about the president because he is your boss. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you can't do. Are people who give haircuts at reception soldiers? No, they're people that just work at reception, and they just they just buzz your haircut. And also another little tip: even if you buzz your hair at before you leave for reception, they're still going to cut your hair. I mean, they're still going to do it, and you're still going to have to pay for it, because you have to pay for the haircut. When you get to reception, like day 2, whenever they cut your hair, you got to pay like $7 or $8 or something like that, and you have to pay them. It's kind of like stupid. Like, they're forcing you to do it. Like, why can't they just give you the haircut? It's really dumb. Camelbak or Canteen during basic training? Both. But mostly you will have a Camelbak. I'm going to talk to my recruiter tomorrow about joining the Army Reserves. What type of questions should I ask about the reserves? You can ask me questions about the reserves, but the first time you talk to a recruiter, I would say, like, don't stress about it too much. Just talk to him. You kind of have to get a feel for your recruiter as well as he gets a feel for you. But just ask him about his experiences and stuff. He's not going to know much about the reserves. From what I have heard, active duty soldiers, active duty recruiters, and from people that you guys who have messaged me, who've asked your recruiter questions about the reserves, they don't know that much about the reserves because they are not in the reserves. They don't really know. I've heard people say that you can just drill with whichever unit you want, and you know, if you want to drill with this unit this month and this other unit another month, that you can do that. No, you can't do that. So if you have any specific reserve questions, you can ask me. If you want to ask any Army questions, you can ask your recruiter. But yeah, feel free to message me on Instagram. That's totally fine. Is there a dentist? Is it free? No, you're not going to be able to go to dentist whenever you want. And if you're in the active duty military, it would be. Oops. You should give away 2 Camelbaks. You guys are going to get Camelbaks for free anyways. And Camelbaks are cheap. They're the ones that you get at base training are like 20 bucks. Is it true they pull your wisdom teeth once you join? Grazing fern, yeah. It's actually kind of true. It's not like true, like guaranteed. I still have all 4 of my wisdom teeth, okay? I still have all 4 of my wisdom teeth, but they did try to pull them. So they were going to do it, and I'm like, no, you're not going to do that. Because, you know, I had went to the dentist before. I have the room in my mouth for my wisdom teeth to come in. They're coming in perfectly straight, so there is no reason for me to pull my wisdom teeth. But for a lot of people, when you get to AIT or whenever they do it, they will try and pull all of your wisdom teeth. So like they will pull like all 4, even 5 or 6 teeth out. Like I've seen them just pull 5 teeth out on somebody in one sitting, and that person is just like, their mouth is just dead. So it's not like guaranteed that they're going to do that, but it's definitely a possibility. Why can't you have coffee at basic training? That's actually not true. There's coffee in the MREs. Now, you're not going to have time to, like, you know, set it up and do stuff. So what people normally do is they do this thing called Ranger Dip, where they take the coffee packets, and in the coffee, or in the MREs, they also have these little square napkins that are about this big. And if you take the coffee and put it in the coffee packets, and you basically create like a dip packet, and then you put it in your lip. You're not really supposed to do that, but that's usually what people do to get that caffeine high. But I don't like coffee, so I hate coffee. So I never did that, but that's what people do. And there is coffee in 75% of the MREs. And if you don't have a coffee packet in your MRE, odds are there's somebody else who doesn't want it, and you can have it. What military branch should I join if I'm going infantry? Army. I think that's what you're asking. So yeah, Army. What happens if you don't pay for the haircut? You're going to pay for the haircut. That's not even an option. Wait, my comment was stupid. I don't have any. What? I was born with no wisdom teeth. That's what you said. Okay. How many miles should I be running before I start OSET? It depends on where you're at, but like I said before, your initial goal, if you're starting, like if you can run a mile without stopping, like if you're not at that stage where you're struggling to even run a half a mile without stopping, if you can run a mile or 2 miles without stopping, I would say your goal that you should try to achieve is 10 miles a week. If you can run 10 miles a week, then I would say you're good to go. Anything more than that will just be extra. So that is what I would suggest you. That should be your goal, because at basic training, you're going to be running around about 10 miles a week, depending on what ability group you're in. But that's about how far you're going to be running every week, because you're going to have 3 run days. And then, again, depending on the ability group that you're in, you could just be running 2 miles or up to 4 miles for those days, and 6120s and all that stuff. So if you're doing 10 miles a week, I would say you're good to go. Again, anything more than that, yeah. Do you take money to basic? Yeah, you're supposed to take a little bit of cash, but don't take a lot of cash. You really don't need it for anything. Yeah, like you should take 50. I think it's $50 for the cash, because like you might use it at the airport or whatever. But then at the end of basic training, they're gonna have more than likely somebody come around who's selling T-shirts and stuff. And if you want to get that, you're gonna have to pay in cash. You will have a chance to go to the ATM. But yeah, I mean you don't really need it that much. What is your favorite weapon you have shot? The 50 cal. Yeah, 50 cal. I have a video of that on my Instagram page. It was pretty cool. But also shooting the 240 is also really cool. So weapons I've shot would be the grenade launcher, the Beretta pistol that the military has. Obviously I've shot the M4, the M16, the 249, the 240, and the 50 cal. I almost got to shoot the Mark 14, which is like think of it as like a 50 cal for a grenade launcher. That would have been really cool. But whenever I was supposed to go shoot it, apparently the people forgot to bring the tripod that it sits on, and you can't shoot it without that. So dang it. That would have been really cool. Is shooting at basic training hard? I've never shot anything other than a pistol. If you've never shot anything before, I would not worry. It's definitely going to be maybe harder than you think. So like shooting 40 out of 40 at the range, I do not care if you've been shooting ever since you were 2 years old with your AR-15. Shooting with iron sights on the range at targets at an actual distance of 300 meters is going to be harder than you think on a time. So the pop-up targets are only going to be up for a couple of seconds and then they'll go back down. So shooting 40 out of 40 is difficult, but passing is, in my opinion, not that hard. So I would not worry about that. Did I do football in high school? Yes. I played football, basketball, and baseball. My main sport was baseball. That was what I was best at. And I could have gone to college for it, but a long story. Should I try to get into Special Forces? I heard it's nearly impossible to get in. It is hard to get in. It is even harder to pass the selection process. If you don't pass the selection process, then you're going to be signed another MOS, more than likely infantry. That is something that people need to know whenever they're going Special Forces. Okay, so if you're picking 18 X-ray as your MOS and you're not in shape, then you're probably going to fail out of the selection, and then you're going to be assigned an MOS. Whether or not that's infantry or another MOS that you want, that's up in the air, and it's not up to you. So you got to keep those things in mind. If you want to go Special Forces, be in really good shape. Be running a lot. More than 10 miles a day. Or more than 10 miles a week. I mean, if you're doing 10 miles a day, then that is good to go. What age did you grow wisdom teeth? I know, Jawan, I know you're 10. You say that every comment. But I don't know. I started growing them whenever I was like 17, maybe. But they're almost fully in now. So, or they pretty much are fully in. Or at least most of them are. I'm doing the Asvab Tuesday. Good luck. Get a 10K tattoo. Guys, I'm not getting a tattoo. I don't have any tattoos. I might get a tattoo in my life. I don't know. But I've never really liked anything enough or wanted anything bad enough to where I wanted to get a tattoo of it. But I will probably, I don't know, I guess I'll try the 10,000 calorie eating challenge. That's basically the thing that most people are saying. It's getting late, so you got to go. Yeah, I'll probably get off the stream here at like 11 o'clock or so. But yeah, Dylan, like I said, I don't have any tattoos. How does MEPS work? I don't know much about it. I think it was my first video that I posted for the Army. So if you look back at my videos way back in the day, the video quality is not going to be as good, but I talked about my recruiting and MEPS experience. That's like the title of the video, is my recruiting and MEPS experience. And in there, I talk about MEPS, but then it is me talking about it right after I did it. So if I were to talk about MEPS right now, I remember a lot about it, but the best thing that you could probably do if you want to ask me is ask the me 2.5 years ago whenever I made that video. So anyways, what do you do at MEPS? You basically, it's like a really in-depth physical health assessment is basically what it is. It's also where they peer pressure you into, whenever you're filling out all the paperwork, to write down any medical issues that you have. So if you are lying about a medical issue, they're going to try and peer pressure you into releasing that to them. What's the fastest I've ever been in a vehicle? Me driving, the fastest has been like 100. It's not been too fast. But the fastest I've been riding in one is like 140. And I think that was with my brother. Or no. Yes. Yeah. Thanks. You have proven to me that the Army stereotype isn't completely true. What should you expect on the first day of basic training? How did yours go? The first day of basic training. Again, like if you haven't seen my day 1 through 17 video of basic training, I'll probably talk a little bit about it day 1. But the first day of basic training, number 1, you're going to wake up. You're at reception. You're going to wake up in the morning. You're going to line up. Everybody's going to be downstairs on their bags and stuff. And the drill sergeants are going to come up. When the drill sergeants come up, you're going to get on the bus. And you're going to drive to wherever your basic training company, your barracks are going to be at. And then that is when the shark attack happens. Whenever they start yelling at you to get off the bus, you get all of your bags. You're going to have like 2 bags. And you're going to run and try to figure out where you're supposed to go. And then you're going to set your stuff down. And then you're going to be getting smoked for a little bit, about an hour or so, where you're going to be holding all of your bags over your head. So that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't bring a whole lot of stuff to basic training, because the more you bring to basic training, the more of that you're going to have to hold over your head. So that's going to be that. Then you're probably going to go to lunch. You're going to get smoked probably before and after lunch. Then after that, you're probably going to, also in the meantime of this, you're going to go up to your barracks and you're going to be assigned, your bunk. You're going to be assigned maybe some of your equipment, and you might sign some papers and stuff off. So every time you get assigned stuff in the military, you have to like sign off on it. So you're going to be doing a lot of that the first day of basic training. You're going to be getting your gear, you're going to be getting smoked, and you're going to be signing papers. And that's basically going to be your first day. Will I know where I'll go for basic training? Yeah, once you get your contract, you will know, Dylan. You will know where you're going for basic training. I'm 14. My maximum bench is 170. Is that good or bad? Yeah, that's good. That is definitely good, man. Definitely good. What is the best part of 25 Bravo and AIT? The best class that I enjoyed was the CCNA class. It's you have CCNA 1 and CCNA 2. Both of them are 2-week classes. So you'll go to CCNA 1 for 2 weeks, then you'll go to CCNA 2 for 2 weeks. They're with the same instructor. And at this point, you have finished you've finished quite a few weeks of basic training, or a few weeks of your AIT, and you're going to have some more freedoms. And once you get to phase 5+ at AIT, that means that you can go off post. And that is like one of the coolest things. It's like on the weekends, you and your buddies, you can go off post, you can go to the mall. And like I remember going to like Buffalo Wild Wings and all that stuff. And that was just, it was a lot of fun. Yes, AIT was long for me. It's about 21 weeks for 25 Bravo. But it was, I mean, it honestly wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. How's your brother doing? He's doing good. He's preparing for missions and stuff, and they're getting ready to do a lot of stuff. They're about to go on a couple of missions back to back. So that might be stressful or hard. He's definitely going to see some contact. The first time they went out, every time they go out, they get contact, receive fire, whether it's indirect or direct. But yeah. What's the Asvab test mostly about? The Asvab test is honestly about everything. It's about math, science, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, reading. It's about everything, really. Do you ever shower with other people? What's the deal with laundry? Laundry is actually a good question. I haven't really talked about that much in a specific video. But at basic training, you're not going to shower in with one shower head with other people. But after that, you will. So like I've been in scenarios after basic training in AIT where it's been like a group shower thing that you know what I'm talking about. But at basic training, you're just going to have like one little thing for your shower, and it'll have a curtain. Whether or not the curtain covers the whole entrance, that's debatable, but you're going to give up some level of privacy no matter what. And then laundry, there's going to be a laundry room, and you can do laundry every day when in your free time. That's also going to be a really stressful thing because you're going to have everybody, 50, 60 people trying to do laundry every day, and there's only going to be like 8 washer and dryers. So that's just a thing that you have to deal with. So you'll probably have to do laundry at night as well. So you might have to ask somebody who's doing fire guard to wake you up at 12 o'clock at night whenever people's stuff is done, and then wake you up an hour later once that washer is done and put it in the dryer and stuff like that. What's my brother's MOS? 13 Fox. So he is a forward observer. He basically calls in artillery fire. Is 68 Whiskey a combat MOS? Yeah, it's a combat medic, right? Have your grandpa listen. What is it? Should I join the army or keep taking care of my grandpa who has dementia? Yeah, you could listen to him. But that is definitely not a question that I could answer for you, man. How does the fire guard schedule work? Or do you volunteer or voluntold? Both. So whenever I was a platoon leader, somebody has to make the fire guard schedule. For us, I made the fire guard schedule. We made the fire guard schedule. It wasn't the drill sergeants or anything that did that. It was me. And what happened was, we had to, like, every hour of the night, you have to have a certain amount of people up doing certain things. And I could go really in depth on this because it's kind of complicated. So, like, you have the whole platoon that's got to do fire guard, and then you got to, like, cycle the hours and cycle the jobs and make sure people don't get the same hour every night. That's kind of complicated, but it is ultimately up to whoever you decide. So, like, for a little while, I did have somebody else do it because that just took a little bit of stress off of me because I was always so busy as the platoon leader. But people just complained, oh, that person got the first shift, 3 days ago. I want the first shift or whatever. So what I ended up doing was I wrote down the shifts every single day. I kept a schedule and a backlog of all the shifts. So some people come up to me and be like, man, I haven't gotten the first shift in forever. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And look back at the schedule. I'm like, dude, you got it 2 days ago, so stop lying or whatever. So anyways, the soldiers make it. How much longer is this going to be? A couple more minutes, guys. We're going to do about 4 more minutes of the stream before I get off of here. This was fun. This was fun. What is that? What about flag bearer? That is something that you might not even have to do, so I wouldn't worry about it. But that would be both, again. 6-day trial, do some research on what you want. And yep. Have you had to shower with a whole lot of guys? Like I said, after basic training in AIT, I've been in a case where there was one pole and 4 shower heads coming off of that one pole, and I've had to shower for that. I've also been in a place where, you're in like the big shower room where you just have like the one big room with like shower heads coming off of the side. Been in like a case where it's like a bunch of individual rooms, like small rooms where there's like 3 shower heads per room, and that's kind of like the thing. So anyways, am I gonna hop on COD tonight? Probably not. I'm probably not gonna have time. It's 11 o'clock now. I've got to do a little bit of work, and it'll probably be about 12:30 or 1 o'clock before I finish, so I'm probably not gonna play. Thank you. But anyways, we're in a time where there is no war. Will you experience action in infantry? Right now, if you are in the military, it would be a low chance of experiencing action. But if you join the military right now, you're going to be in the military for the next couple of years. So I would say it's a very high chance in your overall career. How long in advance should I start to train for basic training? Because I haven't been to the gym in like a month, and basic training is June for me. Start right now. June is only like 7 months away, right? Something like that. Start right now. That is literally the answer. Train right now. Did you hear the new rules for alcohol in barracks, both basic and AIT? What do you mean new rule? I don't know what rule you're talking about, but I can almost guarantee you that if there is a rule that came out to where you can have alcohol at basic and AIT, that it is a lie. There's no way that that's true. No way. Show us a picture of your brother. I'll do that if I have a picture on this phone. You can also look at an old thumbnail video. Actually, I don't have a picture on this phone because he's been gone since I've had this phone. So I have my old phone. Does the Touch ID still work? Nope. Nope. Da-da-da. But yeah, so if you have any last minute questions, I will answer it before I hop off of here. But gosh, I gotta go back. My brother's been gone for a couple of months now. Been in Afghanistan. Shoot, I really gotta keep going back farther. No way. Huh. Oh, here we go. So here's a picture of him, if you can see it. This is me, and this is my brother. This was the little like party thing. You can see some like stuff in the background. This was the day. This was like the day before he left. He was leaving the next day after this, or no, he was leaving that day to go back to Fort Bragg where he was gonna leave. But anyways, that's my little brother James. But anyways. New PT test. I have talked about that. I'm kind of, I have an idea, but I'm not going to spoil that idea because I don't want anybody to copy me if anybody, other YouTuber sees this video. Does 3 months go by fast at basic, and what happens after basic? Well, what happens after basic is you go to AIT, and then does 3 months go by fast? It's kind of like, Ellen, you keep doing Snooper Chat, and you're just the most awesome person ever. Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do. I know I appreciate it greatly. Well, thank you. I appreciate that a lot. You've always done good, and just thank you. But basic training feels like forever in the moment, but when you look back at it, it goes by fast, right? It's just like anything else in life. If you think right now of the last 3 months of your life, and from August until now, you're like, man, that went by really quick. And that's exactly how basic training is going to go. Day by day, it feels slow, like really slow. But then when you're done, it's super fast. Can you have supplements in AIT? Yes, you can at AIT. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Y'all are the best. I feel like I have the best subscribers in the world. Do I think the Army will ever add pull-ups to the APFT? Possibly. Maybe sometime in the future. The current little ab exercise that they have where you're going to hold yourself up on the pull-up bar, that's kind of like a step in the right direction. But I do wish that they did have pull-ups. Like, that would just be such a short thing to do, you know, where you only have to do, like, the minimum would be, like, you know, 3 pull-ups. If you can do 3 pull-ups, then you pass. And then the max would be, like, you know, 30 pull-ups or something like that. So, what's AIT all about? That is a topic for another day, Dash, because I'm getting off right here. But I do have a video on what AIT is like, so you can check that out. You will automatically be given a... Oh, really? Okay. Gotcha. All right, so that is going to be it for this live stream. I want to thank you guys so much. Probably going to be hitting 9,000 or 10,000 subscribers sometime. I'm thinking maybe the first week of December. That is going to be the thing, and I want to go ahead and get started on this. So if I'm going to do the 10,000 calorie challenge, I want to make sure I'm ready for it. And then I guess plan out what I'm actually going to eat, because 10,000 calories is a lot, but I guess it's definitely doable if I start early enough. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out. You guys are the best. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you, everybody who's donated. William and I know Tommy's donated before. Thank you, everybody who has donated a super chat. You guys are the best. But I am going to now sign off of here. Hope you guys have a great night. Check out my video tomorrow, and I'll see you guys later.